I'm back. Or it can cause irritation or redness. And if you are using these essential oils on your kids topically and you are not properly diluting, you are setting them up for sensitization where they may not actually be able to use essential oils at some point if you are going to continually add them to your child's skin without proper dilution first. As far as just throwing some on the feet for the heck of it, you never want to use essential oils for the heck of it, okay? You want to use essential oils with intent and with a purpose for a purpose. Don't just use them willy-nilly. Use them, you don't use medication willy-nilly, right? You don't take Tylenol every day to prevent headaches, right? Like, don't use essential oils that way either. And then when you go ahead and use them, they are going to be more effective and they are going to do what you want them to do because at that point you haven't sensitized yourself to them. So applying them to the feet really does nothing. I mean, you can smell essential oils you've applied to the feet, but they really don't get absorbed. It's just not a great thing. I mean, that is a whole entire other rant of its own. Your feet do not have large pores. They're sweat glands. You know, the essential oils don't get absorbed up into them. It's just not a great idea. As for an ear infection, a roller bottle and about 10%. Yeah, I wonder how she's using this. Hopefully she's at least not applying that inside of the ear canal because that would not be okay at all. Okay, so there's a few questions from you guys that are here live that I want to go ahead and answer. So Pamela says she has a question. When she's in a room with a diffuser plugged in with oils, it makes me so sick. I get dizzy, nauseous, and my blood pressure goes wonky. Why does this happen? I can handle roller bottles, but I cannot tolerate diffused oils. Okay, so how long? Okay, and it's saying, and it takes a couple of hours for it to pass. When you leave, then you're fine. So how long are you diffusing before you are feeling this way? Because it is common when you diffuse for too long, and that too long could be for you, it could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour. Different people, you know, we're all different. We have different, you know, sensitivities, and some of us may be able to tolerate longer periods of diffusing than others, but this is really why I don't recommend. Yes, Razim, I'm live now. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I don't know. But when you are diffusing for lengths of time, it's really not benefiting you as much as if you diffuse for shorter lengths of time. So I like the Jasmine diffuser. You can find that on Amazon. My link is usingeossafely.com/Jasmine, and that will bring you to the Jasmine diffuser by Stadler Form. And what I really like is it diffuses for 10 minutes on and then it shuts off for 20 minutes. And that allows your body to take in those aromas and to use them therapeutically. And then it gives your body a break so that you don't have that olfactory fatigue. So it is common when you diffuse too long, you can run into, like you're saying, you're getting dizzy, you can get headaches, you can feel nauseated, your blood pressure goes wonky, and that could be from diffusing for too long. And that's even for essential oils that are generally regarded as safe and, you know, have no issues. But especially if you are diffusing essential oils that do have, you know, certain safety concerns, then you want to be even more careful with them. Now, when you are using a roller bottle, you are most likely using a far less dilution, and you are not going to be smelling it as intensely when you are applying it to your skin. So I would love to know more information, Pamela, about how long you are diffusing, as well as how close the diffuser is to you, and most importantly too is what are the essential oils that you are diffusing. And that can help me help you a little bit better on it. But yes, in general, absolutely, diffusing for too long can cause issues. Generally, now you're saying it takes a couple of hours for it to pass. When you leave, you are fine. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, as far as if you leave and you're fine, does that mean when you get clear air that you feel fine fairly quickly, or does it take a couple of hours for you to feel fine even after you get that air? Because generally for most people, if you overdo inhalation, all it takes is generally under 5 minutes in fresh air, whether it's outside or in a separate room, to feel more normal and to feel better. So that is concerning. It shouldn't happen. So I would love to help you be able to diffuse your essential oils without having that issue. So please let me know more information if you are willing to share. Connie wants me to talk about Niauli, debating to see if I need it. No, you don't need it. Niauli is completely unnecessary. It's pretty much like a trash tea tree essential oil. You can't use it if you're pregnant. You can't use it on children under the age of 10 because it does have 1,8-cineol in it. Just don't even bother. Just use tea tree. Don't even bother. It's one that I personally will not purchase, will not use either. There's just nothing Niauli has that tea tree doesn't, except all of the safety concerns. Okay, oh, Pamela answered me. Yay! So, small space like a classroom and, okay, in a small office, you're usually in the space for a couple of hours. When you leave, you feel terrible. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If you are diffusing, so it's been with lavender and sandalwood. So if you are diffusing in a closed room, not a great idea. You really need to have that airflow. So if you are diffusing in a small room, you definitely don't want to diffuse, the whole time without having some breaks. So a classroom's not a great idea either. I don't like that because there are some people that are going to be more sensitive to certain essential oils being diffused. And generally in classrooms, they like to diffuse those anti-germ blends, which contain, cinnamon and clove, sometimes oregano, and then rosemary and eucalyptus. And a lot of those aren't safe for kids under the age of 10. And there are issues like if a kid is going to the dentist office later and they've been inhaling clove essential oil all day, which is anticoagulant, they might bleed a little bit too much. So that's just not okay. So I really dislike hearing when people are diffusing in classrooms when there's people in it. It's best to wait for your kids to go home. Then you can diffuse whatever you want because by the time they all come back in the next morning, the air will be clear. Yeah, if you are in a space for 2 hours with constant diffusing, that is not okay. So if this is something that you are regularly exposing yourself to, I would definitely say something to whoever is in control of that diffuser and recommend and suggest to them and beg them that they stop, at least while you are there, that they stop that because you've been not feeling well being around those essential oils. And please, if they're telling you they're pure essential oils and there's something wrong with you and you're just detoxing, please don't listen. You are feeling not good for a reason and that needs to stop. So be firm and stand up for yourself. Alrighty. Carol's saying a crazy thing she's heard is putting a couple of drops of pure essential oil and mix it in your mascara tube and apply to lashes to promote healthy eyelashes. This is a great one. Somebody commented on my last live earlier tonight with this very same thing after I shut it off, so I was unable to comment on the video. But yeah, that is not recommended for a couple of reasons. Number one, let's talk about benefit. What is the benefit to putting essential oils in your mascara? So you mentioned promote healthy eyelashes. You don't need essential oils to promote healthy eyelashes. Eyelashes generally are healthy on their own. If you are taking care of your skin and you are moisturizing and you are washing and whatever it is that you do in your skin regimen, you are going to be cleansing your eyelashes and they are going to be just fine. Now, I have heard the excuse that lavender essential oil helps make your eyelashes thicker. Essential oils don't make your hair or your eyelashes thicker. Now, castor oil can. Castor oil is wonderful for making your lashes thicker or thickening your hair if it's starting to thin or promoting hair to grow. Rosemary is great for promoting your hair to grow. But for your eyelashes, no. To make them thicker, no. Another thing is you don't want to put essential oils that close to your eye. Now, generally, you don't want any essential oils below your eyebrow and above the top of your cheekbone. So this whole area here, you don't want essential oils there, generally speaking. And I say that because if you have an anti-aging cream or oil and you're applying it to your entire face, you are probably also applying it around your eyes and at 1%. Whatever, go for it. I'd be lying if I said I completely avoid my eyes because honestly, I mean, that's where your face is showing aging first, right? Is around your eyes. But to apply that high of a dilution in your mascara and thinking that it's going to thicken your lashes, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. So please avoid using essential oils in your mascara. It has zero benefit. And the risk of applying essential oils that close to your eyes is just it's just not a good idea. So there's just avoid it. Okay. Add your essential oil somewhere else, but not your mascara. Hey from North Cyprus. Pamela. Okay. So I've already addressed that. So Lee, do you have a blend recommended to thicken fine hair strands? There's no essential oils that are going to thicken the strands themselves, but I do have a hair grower recipe. If you go to usingeossafely.com/hair grower, and I was having trouble typing earlier, if somebody could type that in for me, that'd be awesome. Then it can help to stimulate the hair growth on your scalp. So if you are finding that your hair is thinning and you want to stimulate hair growth, that is something that you can use. It's a blend of rosemary and castor oil, and that is something that you can add to your hair. It won't thicken the strands themselves, but it can promote growth so that more hair can grow. I want to call you Rasmin because your name looks like Jasmine, but with an R, but I know that's not how it's spelled. So anyways, I'm going to call you Rasmin if you don't mind. My question is about dilution. Will a 2% dilution be not as good as, say, 10%, trying to help my grandson with motor tics? So it all depends. You know, more is not necessarily better when it comes to essential oils. I always suggest that people use the lowest dilution that is the most effective. So if you have an effective blend for motor tics and it's 4%, don't use 10. There's no need. You are using more essential oil than you need, so you are wasting the essential oil. Plus, you are, putting yourself more at risk for adverse reactions the more essential oil you use. So go ahead and start with the low percent dilution first. So try the 2 first and see if that helps. And if you need to go to 10, great, but start with a lower dilution and increase as needed. When you find that it is working, then just stop. That would be my recommendation. Stop, increasing the dilution. Nance asked a question about Fir Needle and respiratory issues. Did I see your post? No, I guess I didn't see your post. So let me go ahead and scroll down. Sometimes Facebook doesn't show me everything when I'm live here. Oh, okay, I see it now. You were talking about Fir Needle for respiratory issues. Is that an oil? And how do I use it for respiratory? Yes, so Fir Needle is an essential oil, and you can inhale it for respiratory issues. You can do a steam inhalation. You can inhale via a personal inhaler, diffuser, or you can even use a diffuser pendant or essential oil jewelry as well for respiratory issues. Now you're saying you have COPD and you're trying to deal with it naturally as opposed to medically. So I suggest going to our website and typing in usingeossafely.com/COPD and checking over there for our COPD information, as well as it gives information about asthma too, because some essential oils can aggravate COPD and make things worse. So you want to be very careful with that. But Fir Needle is my number one recommendation for any respiratory issues, even far above eucalyptus. Okay, so I think I got all of those. So yeah, if I happen to miss your question, please let me know so I can make sure to get it while you guys are here live. Okay, so Jen is asking, will rosemary and cedarwood oils in shampoo or conditioner benefit hair? Yes. Yep, absolutely can benefit hair. Connie, can I use a blend for body pain and a different for stomach pain the same day? Yes, you can absolutely use what you need when you need it. So, I wouldn't slather everything from head to toe to avoid anything, but if you have stomach pain, go ahead and inhale those essential oils or even apply them topically to your abdomen, rub them in. If you have ankle pain, apply it to your ankle. It's totally fine if you are using the correct essential oils for the situation in the right dilution and you are using them as you need to, then you can go ahead and do that. Absolutely. Carol, thank you so much. You have strengthened my argument of using essential oil safely. I am so happy to do so. Anytime, Carol, anytime. Tiffany, oils to help with hormone imbalance caused by PCOS. So I would like to have a little bit more detail, Tiffany, exactly what you mean. So what kind of imbalance are you asking? Essential oils do not contain hormones, and essential oils do not have a direct interaction with causing, say, estrogen or progesterone or testosterone or any of those hormones to have a different reading, when you get blood work done. They're not going to interfere in that way. However, If you are talking about PMS and you are talking about emotional issues, essential oils can help make you feel more calm and make you feel more balanced, but they will not actually balance your hormones. So that is something that you need to look to herbs for. But I do know you mentioned PCOS. That is like a whole wide range of symptoms. So if you have something more specific you want to ask me about that, then please feel free. Otherwise, that is my general recommendation on using essential oils for hormones in general. So Megan's like, oh, motor tics, what would you recommend for those? I suspect it's related to sensory processing and anxiety. So you can try antispasmodic essential oils for motor tics. I actually feel a little bit out of my element answering that question. There are some things I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And motor tics is something I do not have experience with, but my education tells me that antispasmodic essential oils may be able to help. Now, just like any health issue, sometimes essential oils can be the key. Sometimes they can be they can give you more of a supporting role. And sometimes they don't help that great. So I would suggest antispasmodic essential oils. To try that, I would try inhalation first before topical use. But I guess I don't know a whole lot about motor tics to have a great answer for you. So if anybody wants to educate me a little bit more on that, but I believe, isn't that more of a nerve thing and not like a muscle spasm? It's a nerve thing. So nervines and antispasmodic essential oils are going to be best. I do have a list. Let me see. In my therapeutic properties of essential oils app, I do have lists of essential oils within different therapeutic properties so that you can look that stuff up. But I'm going to go ahead, instead of making you go ahead and buy that, I'm going to give you the answer here. But just so you know, there's a therapeutic properties of essential oils app. You can find that at tpeoapp.com. And that gives you an entire list of essential oils by therapeutic property. So it's alphabetical order by therapeutic property. And then it gives you the essential oils that contain those therapeutic properties right here. So these are some antispasmodic essential oils. And what I have listed first are the ones that I do recommend using more than maybe others. So my best recommendations would be cedarwood atlas, German chamomile, frankincense, mandarin, sweet marjoram, sweet orange, Australian sandalwood, and tangerine. Now, there's also other essential oils that can be effective as well. So those are all listed here. And a lot of them do have topical maxes, so you want to be very careful of that. So that is the best information there. And then let's look at the nervines, and there's probably going to be some essential oils that are also going to be in this list as well for my best recommendations. So here they are here. So we have bergamot, clary sage, Bulgarian French lavenders, mandarin sweet orange, and tangerine. That's for emotional nerves. For physical nerve pain, there's also a few, and then there's some more that are also going to be effective there as well for nervines. So those would be the essential oils I would point to. I would recommend inhaling first before applying topically. And if you apply topically, I would start with a lower dilution, like 2%, and then I would go up from there. And just understand, so you're saying it's similar to Tourette's. A lot of times that is like nerve damage, possibly vaccine damage. I'm not trying to be controversial, but there are other things that can actually cause permanent things. But I also don't like to think that anything is permanent. You can reverse diabetes. You can be healed of cancer. You can, there are things that you can do to help your body, even if the doctor says it's never going to get better. So I would suggest that. Those would be my best recommendations, and I would love your feedback. And please let me know what you try and what works, because that will help me in answering future questions about this topic. Motor tics is to do with inflammation of the basal ganglia in the brain. Yes, that sounds about right. Like I said, I'm a little bit fuzzy on exactly what all of this is. Exactly where all of this comes from. Some of these questions I've answered many times, and I was able to do research. So I really appreciate you guys being patient with me as I'm trying to give you the information for that. it's possible that it can be helped. So please let me know what you try. So Nance is asking where I recommend you get essential oils from. So I have a list of recommendations, and these would be companies that I personally like to purchase from or personally do not purchase from. And you can find all of that over on usingeossafely.com/brands. There you go. All right, so Megan has a question, or she's saying, thank you, taking the diffuser up to my son's room for the night now. Awesome. You are welcome. Thanks for joining me, and I hope it works. So Connie's saying, yes, vaccine injury. That's how my son got it. I am so sorry, Connie. I am so sorry. All right, so I think I got everybody's question. If I didn't, please let me know. Okay. So again, as you guys are live right on here with me, go ahead and ask me your questions. I do want to hop back over to our huge thread with over 600 comments about what are some of the crazy things, the crazy recommendations that you have seen across the internet about essential oils. And we are going over those to say, yeah, you're right, that's crazy, or that's actually not so bad, and what maybe some safe alternatives are. Hey, Brianna, thanks so much for joining. So Kelly's comment here to add to this crazy list is to put thieves oil in your coffee to boost your immunity. Yeah, that's not recommended. That blend comes up a lot, and there are quite a few safety issues with that blend. It seems like they, no matter which company, they tend to add similar essential oils, which I kind of went through a little while ago. Most of them have eucalyptus and rosemary, which can cause breathing concerns, breathing complications in children under the age 10. And then there's, clove and cinnamon bark, which are topical irritants. So you have to be really careful about that. So when you are ingesting these essential oils in your coffee, you have risk of burning your esophagus, of causing irritation, all of that stuff to your insides, and it's being mostly destroyed in your stomach, and it's really not helping you. So inhaling it is going to be great for killing any germs that you may also be breathing in. But essential oils really don't help with immunity per se. Herbs are great for immunity. Elderberry especially is wonderful, but essential oils work mostly, for a purpose. So they're not great at preventatives. They will kill germs on contact. So you may think that diffusing your anti-germ blend in your house is helping prevent you from being sick. And you're kind of right on the one hand. But then on the other hand, you have to consider how they're working. They're working because as there are germs in the air, they are being killed by the essential oils that are being diffused. And or when you are inhaling anti-germ essential oils, and you are also maybe around people who are coughing or sneezing or sick, your body inside is fighting those off. So those essential oils that are getting in your lungs, the germs that are getting in your lungs, they're going to fight it off. And the essential oils are anti-germ, they're antifungal, they're antiviral. Most of them are antifungal and antiviral. All of them are anti-germ because they're antimicrobial. And they are going to help keep you well in that sense, but it's on contact. So hand sanitizer works to kill the germs on contact, okay? Where it's not preventing you from being sick, it's actually killing the germs on contact, so then you don't get sick. So adding that kind of, those kind of essential oils to your coffee is really not the best way to use those essential oils. So inhale them, put them in your diffuser necklace, put them in your personal inhaler, diffuse them in your diffuser, and you will have, much better success with them killing germs. Okay, a few more. I don't want to have this go too long because I want everybody to be able to, view the replay without it being immensely long. I will be putting these up on YouTube. I say these because Facebook's kicked me off a few times, so there's going to be multiple parts to this. So Sarah's saying, using peppermint essential oil on your 1-year-old for their stuffy nose. Yeah, I don't recommend that. The menthol in the peppermint is not recommended for under age 6 because it's very strong. Menthol mimics the cold receptors in your lungs, or in a child's lungs especially, and it can make them feel like they can't breathe very well. So yeah, using that on anyone under the age of 6 is a risk, and I highly recommend instead using something like Fir Needle or spruce or pine instead. Connie's saying, I went to Walmart on the live break to get the traditional tea. Yay! So Connie's talking about the traditional medicinals throat coat tea, which is preferred for sore throats over using essential oils by dripping them in your throat. So it works really well, Connie. I can't wait for you to be able to try it and let me know what you think about it. It is amazing. So the marshmallow root that's in it is great at coating the throat and the other herbs in there as well. And it's just amazing. I've used it many times myself with great success and absolutely love it. Okay. Nance, is it Nance or Nancy? I don't know. Please let me know. My friend is a Melaleuca representative and claims that Melaleuca oil is the best to use for kidney health. Is this correct? Okay, by Melaleuca oil, you mean tea tree essential oil, which is Melaleuca alternifolia. And essential oils for kidney health is just like saying use essential oils for liver health. Because if you overdo essential oils, you can actually cause your kidneys and or your liver to be overworked and cause them to fail. So I really wouldn't ingest tea tree essential oil thinking that you're going to keep your kidneys healthy. That's really not how I would use them. Was there a way that this rep was telling you how to use this for kidney health? Again, essential oils don't work preventatively, so you don't want to just go drink a bunch of essential oils or even diffuse or use topically a bunch of essential oils. So it's Nance. Okay, perfect. Thank you for letting me know. So you really don't want to use a bunch of essential oils to help keep you healthy because you are going to be using them too much. You just want to use them when you need them, basically. So yeah, the best to use for kidney health. Does it make sense? Does my answer make sense? Like, you don't want to overdo anything. You don't want to use anything for your kidneys. Your kidneys have to process. Your liver has to process all of the essential oils that you are consuming, that you are, on some level, even breathing and even using topically. But yeah, I would not use essential oils for organ health. You want to use as very little as possible. If you want your kidneys and your liver healthy, definitely do not ingest and use them as little as possible. Brianna, super dry skin, best topical. So we did mention this a little bit earlier in the live a while back. You probably weren't on yet, but carrier oils are going to be the best for dry skin. Essential oils really aren't best for dry skin. Essential oils can be drying, in fact, if you use them without diluting. So you want to be very careful when you are using essential oils. If you are diluting them or not, you want to definitely dilute them. So some of the best carrier oils for super dry skin, rosehip is really great. If you can use mango butter or shea butter, which is really thick and moisturizing, you definitely want to, when you are using it, you want to heat it down and add another oil like a jojoba oil or coconut oil. Avocado oil is really great because it is moisturizing as well. Coconut oil is actually not as moisturizing as some of the other ones. So avocado, let's see, what were some of the other ones that I had in here when I mentioned earlier for dry skin? Some of the carriers. Let's see, I think we had meadow foam. Oops, I went back too far. Okay, so rosehip, meadow foam, evening primrose, mango seed, borage, calendula, and carrot seed, and then mango and shea butters. So I would, really look to your carriers for anti-aging purposes and for dry skin. And then you can add, I shouldn't have said anti-aging purposes, for dry skin. And then you can add the essential oils for anti-aging. And between the two of them, that's going to be great. But for dry skin, you want to focus on the carriers. You are welcome, Brianna. Elka, never tried listening to you. Love what you are doing. Thank you so much, Elka. I appreciate that. Never tired listening to you. I was going to say, wait, I think you've been here on lives before. Never tired listening to you. Okay. Lynn, so I shouldn't diffuse every night with calming or relaxing oils. That's when I use them most unless there's a particular reason not to. So here's the thing with diffusing essential oils every night. You can use essential oils on a daily basis for the things that you need. So if you need help going to sleep and that's every night, you can do that. My only suggestion is I would try different essential oils every few weeks just so your body doesn't get kind of acclimated to them and just to make sure that they continue to work for you. Another thing you can do is make a linen spray. And this is wonderful because you can make a linen spray, you can spritz it on your pillow, and then you are smelling it as you're drifting off to sleep, and that works really well. And then you have a very small exposure time. You have just enough exposure pretty much to get yourself comfortable and to be able to fall asleep without needing to diffuse, longer periods of time. The other point to diffusing is you want to make sure to diffuse in smaller increments rather than diffusing the entire night. So like for your child, I don't know who you are diffusing for, but let's say for your kid, okay, 15 minutes before they go to bed, run the diffuser. Then they go to bed, and then 15 minutes later, shut it off. So they are getting, the room is being filled a little bit with essential oils. They are getting some exposure to those essential oils as they are drifting off to sleep. And that should be enough to kind of, set the mood and get them going for sleep. And then you're shutting it off. That way they're not exposed the entire night long to those essential oils. So that would be my best recommendation for diffusing for sleep. And again, don't forget about that linen spray. Super powerful and absolutely delicious. So I say that because there's one of my blends. If you go to using eossafely.com/sedative-EOS, then you will find a couple of my blends for sleep, and one of them contains tangerine and vanilla, and it's super yummy. It smells like creamsicle. So that's why I'm like, oh, it's a yummy blend. And just to drift off to sleep smelling that is just delicious and amazing. Nance, if EOs are not preventative, then are you saying I should not be using my immune blend unless I'm actually symptomatic? That's what I am suggesting. So mostly immune blends are anti-germ, basically, and they are going to be killing germs on contact. So yes, again, essential oils do not boost your immune system. They don't boost the immune system. They can be supportive of the immune system. They can help to kill germs that are in the air, or germs that you are breathing, or germs if you are making a hand sanitizer. But look to herbs which truly boost the immune system and can help you with preventing sickness and also shortening the duration of a flu as well. So that's what I would recommend. Let's see, was there another comment? No, okay, I think I got it. Okay. Valerie is asking, are there any oils to help lower cholesterol? How should you use them? No. Essential oils do not help lower your cholesterol, I'm sorry to say. And, okay, so replying to Lynn, you are welcome. Okay. So I think I got all of your questions and comments. I'm going to go over to one last comment in our thread that is asking, what was the last essential oil recommendation you saw that made you go? And then I have all these emojis of like shock, horror, oh my gosh, and all of this stuff. So let me go ahead and go through one more of those. And then if you guys have any more questions for me live, I can absolutely do that. So the last one I'm going to go for is Tess mentioned making baby wipes with 15 drops of tea tree, 15 drops of lavender, 15 drops of frankincense, and a whole bunch of others I can't even remember because it got insane. So I'm not sure that's all that is said here, exactly how much carrier or what the volume is for this. If this is like an 8-ounce blend, it could be totally appropriate. It could be okay. I really don't recommend using essential oils in baby wipes, of a baby bottom that is perfectly fine, has nothing wrong with it. But you can use essential oils in a very low dilution if there is a rash, but not if you're thinking you're going to try to prevent one, because then you're having essential oils exposed to the very delicate skin at a very young age, and then you have, the risk versus benefit is going to be a little bit wonky. And then her second comment in the same post here is also feeding an 18-month-old oils in every meal, most drinks, including eucalyptus oil. That is not okay. You should not be feeding your child essential oils at all. You should not even yourself be ingesting essential oils during every meal, most drinks, including eucalyptus. I mean, that is not okay. Your body has to process everything you ingest. And am I against ingestion completely? Absolutely not. There are a couple of essential oils that I personally have recommended to people to ingest, and you can find all that information on my ingesting podcast, Wherever you watch your podcast or listen to your podcast, just look me up using essential oils safely. And you can also find my podcast on my website. You can listen there, ueospodcast.com. And my ingesting podcast is using eossafely.com/004. But adding essential oils to your meals, that is not okay, especially for kids. That unfortunately is going to cause problems. Your liver can only take so much, your kidney can only take so much, your insides can only take so much. So unfortunately, that baby is probably most likely going to end up with acid reflux, with, numerous issues, esophageal issues, stomach issues, liver issues, kidney issues, and could be sensitized for life from certain essential oils too. It's just not okay. I understand that parents that do this are thinking they're doing a good thing for their kid, but they're actually, unfortunately, not. So that is super, super sad. Super, super sad. Okay, so I'm going to get off of that thread, and I'm just going to answer your last questions over here before I get off, and then I'm going to be uploading all of these to YouTube. If you didn't catch my one from earlier this evening, there's actually 2 parts, or my one from a couple of days ago, which is also really great. So if you just want to learn about essential oils, just watch my lives, just go over to YouTube, just find me using essential oils safely or Lea Jacobson, and you can learn a whole bunch about essential oils. And I've gone live a few times in the last few days. So I think my question got lost. I read about a man who treated his son for motor tics. He said it took 18 months. Is it all right to use essential oils topically that long? Thank you. It can be okay to use essential oils that long. Absolutely. I'm not sure why it would take 18 months. Usually essential oils work more quickly than that. Was he trying different things this whole time or what? I'm not sure that, essential oils aren't going to magically kick in after 18 months. But to answer your question about is it okay to use essential oils topically that long, it is. Just make sure that your dilution is reasonable. And also, it's best to switch up essential oils after you've been using them more than about 4 weeks. So if you can use essential oils, 4 weeks, use certain essential oils, and like the anti-aging, that's why I have 2 blend recipes in there. You can use one for 4 weeks, you can use the other for 4 weeks. Also, if you're using a low dilution like 1%, the chances of sensitization are also extremely low. So there's that. And was this person using these essential oils topically for 18 months? You said, is it all right to use them topically for that long? It's all about risk versus benefit. So assuming a low dilution, assuming all of the essential oils are not going over any topical maxes and all of that, I would be interested to know what the recipe was if you happen to have it. That would be something that I would be curious about. So Nance says she works at a nursing home and is often in outbreaks, so I had been using my immune blend at the start of each shift for protection. Should I just not be doing this? I would try inhaling if you can use that blend, because a lot of times, they call it an immune blend, but a lot of times the essential oils in there are anti-germ. If you can inhale that instead of using it topically, if you were using it topically, then that definitely can't hurt, and that will be killing germs when you inhale it. So I would definitely inhale rather than apply topically. And if you can get a diffuser pendant, if you can get like an essential oil necklace and you can apply a drop or 2 to that, then that will be something that you can be breathing all day long as well. And this is from the Oily Amulet, theoilyamulet.com, the only place I get my essential oil jewelry from. Awesome, high quality pieces, just absolutely love all of their stuff. Okay, so a couple more questions. Lee is saying, for someone managing type 2 diabetes naturally, are there any oils that would reduce sugar in her blood? No, essential oils really don't, but you can absolutely control that with diet. Absolutely. So eliminating carbs or greatly reducing carbs will help a lot. Cinnamon, ground cinnamon from the herb, not the essential oil, it is not the same. Having ground cinnamon, adding it to food, or even putting it in capsules and consuming it that way can actually help as well. That really does help with blood sugar. But essential oils cannot help with reducing blood sugar at all. But absolutely food can. Absolutely. Destiny, are there any essential oils that will help dry up milk from breastfeeding and or give relief? Uh-oh, I just completely lost my section because I clicked accidentally on something when something was popping up. Okay, so essential oils for reducing milk supply. We actually, okay, perfect. So I do have it. So we do have information on our website for reducing milk supply naturally. And essential oils really aren't in there, but let me go ahead over to our website and I'm going to find the link for you because I'm not exactly sure exactly where it is. So I'm just going to go over to usingeossafely.com and I'm going to click on search and I'm going to do milk supply because I don't remember exactly what the link is for that, but I know we have a post over here. Okay, so it is called increasing milk supply without essential oils, but I know that in here we actually also talk about reducing milk supply. So I'm going to actually drop this link. Let me see. Boost. Okay, so I'm going to actually, okay, so a note about reducing milk supply. Okay, so that is in here. So I'm going to go ahead and reply to you. Okay, it brought me open a new page. Okay, and add the link in there. Why isn't it posting? Give me a minute. Sorry about that. I'm trying to add the link. Why isn't it letting me? Okay, for some reason I can't reply directly to you. Why is it not copying the link at all? That's strange. Facebook has been really weird. Okay, I might have to wait until, Okay, wait a second. Here we go. Okay, let me try this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it worked finally. Okay, there we go. So I wasn't able to reply directly to you, but I was able to reply up further on the list. And it looks like some of your comments are not here when it should have been. I might have to refresh my other screen. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure, because I think there were a couple more comments on here I want to make sure that I get, and I was losing my spot. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, Destiny, so I do have that link up there for you so that you can check out the information over there. Nance, thank you so much. You have been extremely helpful. You are very welcome. And Lee, thank you for allowing us to ask questions during this live. Absolutely. I mean, questions, I absolutely love them. Your questions are awesome. Absolutely love being able to talk about essential oils. And you guys bring up so many great topics. I just absolutely love it. Hey, Jackie and Lynn, thanks so much for joining. So sage and peppermint, correct me if I'm wrong. So somebody's suggesting sage and peppermint for drying up milk supply. Peppermint can reduce milk supply in some women. That is absolutely correct and true. I would suggest drinking peppermint tea though, which is an herbal tea, obviously the herbal tea and not essential oils. And that can work with some women. Cabbage leaves have traditionally been used to reduce milk supply as well. And it can be very soothing. I do not recommend using peppermint essential oil though. And sage essential oil, I mean, that does have some risks as well. So I do not suggest using that if you are breastfeeding, but there's a ton of information on that link over there. So you can find more information over there. The website for the jewelry, absolutely. So that would be theoilyamulet.com. By the way, I actually am doing this for you guys. I posted about this the other day because we went live and we talked about the essential oil jewelry. For anybody who makes a purchase of any size over there, you buy a diffuser pendant, you buy a lava bead bracelet, whatever that it is, forward your receipt to me as long as your purchase is this weekend, and I'm going to actually give you the Essential Oil Profiles app and ebook for free. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. And through the end of the month, any purchase that you make over there, I'm going to give you the ebook or the app for free. So this weekend, you get both of them. It's a $44+ value. And through the rest of the month, you can choose which one that you want. So she has beautiful pieces over there. This is the rose one. I mean, I have like a dozen of her necklaces. I'm not even kidding. They're absolutely gorgeous. A lot of times, I don't even use essential oils in them. They just look beautiful. And then they're there when I need to apply the essential oil, and I can do it really quickly. She also has necklaces that open up, and they have a magnetic closure, and there's a felt pad inside, and I love those as well. She has rose gold. Silver, obviously, she has gold. She may have some chocolate ones left, I'm not sure, but it is extremely, thank you, Jackie, it is extremely great quality, and her packaging is an experience. Like, it's just amazing. Deshay is awesome. She's part of this group as well. She's a friend of mine, and I kind of just surprised everybody by going, you know what? You buy something of hers, I'm going to throw you this information, because you guys want to know all this stuff, right? So you guys, I mean, there's so much information in this book here. So the ebook does contain, is identical to this book, where it has all of the essential oil profiles, all the 60 essential oil profiles. So you have the safety information, you have the therapeutic properties and benefits, as well as in the back, there are bonus sections in the back as well. And I'll show you. They have the therapeutic properties, definitions, there's diluting, including charts, there's a section on carriers. So you want to know what's great for anti-aging skin and all that. I mean, there's a whole section on carriers. There's a section on children, as well as breastfeeding, pregnancy, dogs, and cats. So all of that is in here, and those are the bonus sections to this book. The ebook also includes this information. Now the app, I don't have the bonus sections in the app, but the app is searchable. I personally use it often. I use my book often. I search in my app often. So they are both absolutely something that you will use. So you can totally print out the ebook if you'd like to. You can go get it bound somewhere if you'd like to. That is totally something you can do. Yes, Jackie, it's just like opening a present. So if you have not yet experienced an oily amulet anything, then you just have to make an order and you will see, like, literally the outside of the box is gorgeous. Like, it's usually like, you know, she writes stuff on the outside. I don't know, sometimes it's your name, sometimes it's other things. And even the outside, like, you're already smiling. Like, I know you're excited to get your package anyways, right? But you're like, oh my gosh, and you're so excited because she's like written on it and everything. And then you're opening it and it's just presented so beautifully. And it's just a wonderful experience. So I highly recommend giving her jewelry a try because you will not regret it at all. Thank you for Razami. Thank you for going live. Great program. You are very welcome. I would really like to know how to pronounce your name because I want to just call you Rasmin, but I know that's not correct, so I'm sorry. Please let me know how to pronounce your name. Okay, guys, so I've been live for quite a while this night, so I'm going to go ahead and get off. I am now going to upload all of these to YouTube because I got kicked off a couple of times so that you guys can share this with your friends and you can review it later if you'd like to, because sometimes these lives get lost in the group, of course, because there's new things happening all the time. Oh, Nance, how can I get that book? I do not own a computer, can only borrow on occasion, so I'd like the book in print if possible. Yes. So you can find this over at eopbook.com. That's where you can find this book right now. I am taking pre-orders, but in 1 week, I am actually going to be submitting those orders to my publisher. So in about 3 weeks, I should have them in my room, and I will be shipping them off very quickly. So some of you placed your orders back in January, back in December. You've been waiting a while. So you go ahead. Thanks so much for adding that link. Thank you so much, Joe, for adding the link to the EOP book. So you can find all of that information on eopbook.com if you would like one. And I will be getting those very, very soon. Super, super excited to get those shipped out. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining me live this evening. It's been a blast talking with you. I will be going live again tomorrow to talk more about those crazy and ridiculous essential oil things, recommendations, or recipes that you have seen on the internet. And we can talk about what makes them unsafe. We can also talk about how to make them safe, or maybe they're completely safe and you just thought they weren't. I don't know. We'll see. So everybody have a great night, and I will talk to you later.